What is going on, my fitness coaches? Welcome to another episode of the Change Lives, Make Money Online Trainer podcast. This is the #1 show for online fitness coaches who are trying to grow a successful online business. In today's episode, I'm joined by one of my boys, one of my homies, Mr. Corey Robach, also known as one of the head coaches in the 10K Academy. What's up, Corey?
Yo, what's going on? What's going on, big boy? Good morning to you.
Good morning. So, let's talk about bottlenecks in your fitness business. But before we get into today's episode, I just want to remind you guys that I'm giving away $1,000 cash to one of the people that's listening to this podcast episode. So if you want to be entered to win $1,000 cash, all you need to do is screenshot any podcast episode, share it to your Instagram stories, and tag me at BMarkFit. Let me know that you're tuning in. I'm automatically entering you to win $1,000 cash. I'm giving that away on March 30th. I almost forgot. I'm like, when am I giving that money away? And guys, there's no catch. Literally, like, I do this because I appreciate every single person that listens to my podcast. So if you want to win $1,000, screenshot the Change Lives, Make Money Online Trainer podcast, share it to your Instagram stories, tag me at BMarkFit. Let me know that you're tuning in. Yo, guys, today we're talking about bottlenecks. Now, if you're an online fitness coach, you're listening to this episode, it's likely like the reason you're listening is because you want to grow a fitness business. Now, what are some of the top things that you guys think would prevent you from growing your fitness business? Let's be completely honest here, guys. There's a lot of you guys that are listening to this episode that might have a blueprint. Like, you might have a step-by-step strategy to success, or you might have been listening to a bunch of different podcasts and you might have an idea of what you need to do to grow your fitness business. But what are some of the things that will squeeze your ability to grow your fitness business? So out of curiosity, Corey, like, for you, what were some of the things that you ran into when you first started your fitness business?
Well, different things that we're obviously going to touch on, some 5 major ones, but one of those things is just making sure like you're also looking at a big picture of kind of what you're doing and not just getting so focalized on one thing. But then what that does, when you get so focalized on one thing, it just blinds you to all these other aspects that you don't actually understand what's actually stopping you. Now, when you say bottleneck, though, I think because we want to make this very, very clear for everyone, what exactly is bottleneck? So that means like you're looking at something from a very short sighted view, and it's stopping you from actually seeing that growth, right? So there's going to be a couple things that me and you talked about that we're going to really expand on with this. And I think the first one that we definitely got to talk about, and again, this is like people in everyday life, this is people outside of the fitness world, just overall, and that's going to be overwhelm, I feel.
Yeah, so for me, I think, guys, before we get into today's episode, I just want to let you guys know that if you're listening right now, like, and you're an online fitness coach, if you're listening to this right now and you're an online fitness coach, you can be making $10,000 per month, minimum. And if you are listening to this and you're over $10,000 a month, like there's some of you guys, one of my clients, Gina's at $30,000 a month. If you're listening to this and you're at $30,000 a month, like, you could be making 50. If you're making 50, you could be making 100. And so there's always like a next level for you guys in your fitness business. Now, the problem with a lot of online fitness coaches is when they think bottlenecks in their fitness business, most people are thinking about strategy. When most people think bottlenecks, they're thinking about content strategy, or they're thinking about, what platforms they should be on, or they're thinking about how to get more sales calls, and they're thinking about how to book more calls. But in today's episode, we're going to be talking about the 5 bottlenecks that prevent you from growing your fitness business. And all of them have nothing to do with strategy. So the first bottleneck, so guys, we're just going to go right into it. The first bottleneck when it comes to growing your online fitness business, #1, and let me know if you feel this if you're an online fitness coach, is overwhelm. The first bottleneck to growing your online coaching business is overwhelm. How many of you have online coaches have tried to get into growing your coaching business, and you've tried to get started and get it off the ground, but for some reason you just fall into this overwhelm? You're like, man, there's so much information. There's so many different platforms I could be on. I'm trying to get on TikTok and I'm trying to post, and then I'm trying to get on Instagram and I'm trying to post, and I'm supposed to be on Reels, but then, I'm supposed to be writing my Instagram posts, and, I'm in the DM script, but I'm not exactly sure what to say. And I'm in this course, but I'm not sure which video to watch. How many of you of online fitness coaches have felt overwhelmed? Pretty much. I've seen a lot of hands go up, right?
Well, realistically, everyone's going to feel overwhelmed at some point in time, right? But it's how can you now take that overwhelm and how can you now deal with it and push through it, opposed to letting it kind of hit you and then you just start tail spinning. That's where I find a lot of people really struggle, is when something happens and they get overwhelmed, then that overwhelm just gets more and more and more and more, and they don't know how to stop it. because now they're just inside their head, and now they just start spiraling down, and now they're just drowning.
Dude, and like, I get it, because if you're an online fitness coach and you're trying to grow your online business, it's like you want to be on top of the trends and you want to be on top of what's popping, but all of a sudden you start over consuming information, right? You're an online coach and you start watching all the videos and you start listening to all the podcasts and you start taking in all the information. And because you're taking in so much information without taking any action, this is where you're getting overwhelmed, right? And it's like a lot of online fitness coaches, the reason that they're overwhelmed in the first place is like they don't even know where to start. There's a lot of online coaches like, man, I don't even know where to start. Should I start on TikTok? I lost momentum. Should I go to Instagram first? Should I get on my Facebook? Should I set up my Facebook group first? And so like, and then how many online fitness coaches that are listening to this feel overwhelmed because they feel like they're falling behind? I'm overwhelmed because I'm falling behind. You know, I'm in this program right now. And, when I first tried to join the program, my goal was to get this all done within 90 days, but now I didn't get it done in 90 days. And I feel like I need to play catch up, and I feel like I need to like watch all these videos faster, but I can't watch all the videos faster because I'm like I'm already busy doing and now it's like, there's this like spiral that gets us caught up and like feeling like we're underneath the weight of this imaginary pressure that we put ourselves under. Does this make sense?
Yeah, and but also with that too, though, like you said, they're doing the work and they're watching everything, but we also have 3 keys to success inside the academy, right? And that's implement each video, everything that you learn, you implement, but then they forget the second step. And this is where I feel like the biggest thing, again, like me, you, and everyone can relate to this, is just trying to be perfect with everything opposed to just taking that action to get the feedback that they need, so that way they can now keep moving forward. They get so wrapped up into their head with, let's say, writing a post, but then they're like, oh, okay, shit, but inside this video it said for me to do this, 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 and this, and I did this, 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 and this, and now it's what about this, this, this? It's like, well, just post it, because then if you see that it does well, that means you're on the right track and you can keep moving forward. Or you just don't do it, and then now what? You keep overthinking, and now you just keep spiraling, and yet you've been working on a post for 2-3 hours, and it's been done for 2 hours, or an hour, but now you just don't take action on it because you're trying to make everything perfect all the time, opposed to what we've talked about before, with just doing it and failing and then getting that feedback. So that way now you know where to progress from there.
So if you're currently overwhelmed, here's exactly what you need to do in order to get out of it, right? Focus on taking the next step and take it now.
Yes.
Focus on taking the next step and take it now. Like, overwhelm is a sign of overthinking. I've got so much to do. I'm doing this and this. And that. Yeah, guys, stop. Literally, stop the train of thought right now. If you're listening to this podcast and you're overwhelmed, stop. Focus on taking the next step and take it now. Don't stop worrying about which step you should take. Literally be like, look at your list and be like, I'm going to do that next. And then fucking do it. Yeah. Stop thinking about it, right? The reason you're overwhelmed is because you're not doing anything. You're thinking about all the things you could do. And how much mental bandwidth do we spend thinking about the things that we could do versus actually doing? I was talking to Kirsten about this the other day, and I'm like, babe, I have a serious question. I'm like, how much time do you think we spend thinking about the amount of things on our to-do list versus actually being in the execution of it, right? And inside of the 10K Academy, we talk about this, guys. I'm telling you guys, one of the first things you guys learn is setting intentional timers. Do you guys remember what I'm talking about? Like setting timers for your work tasks. For those of you guys that are still setting timers for your work tasks, you know that if you sit down and you set a 30-minute timer to write a post, you can get that post done, and you can post on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. But we forget about that, and then we forget about the foundations, and then we get overwhelmed because it's like we're not getting content out. But it's because the reason we're not getting content out is we keep spending so much time thinking about all the content that we got to get out that we're not actually executing on anything.
Exactly. And then not only that, but they keep thinking about all this shit that they need to do. But here's the thing. You spending time on thinking about the shit that you need to do, it's not going to go anywhere because you still need to do it. So just get to work and just start doing it. And at the end of the day, here's the thing. It's okay not to get everything done.
Yes.
You're just a human being.
Yes.
And be okay with not getting everything done and just go friggin' do it.
And okay, so overwhelm is okay, focus on taking the next step and take it now. And the next thing is guys, there's no such thing as falling behind. There's no such thing. Falling behind is in your mind. I'm going to make that a poem. Falling behind is in your mind. It's true though. Falling behind compared to what? The fuck are you comparing yourself to? Falling behind compared to somebody else in the course? Why are you even looking at them? falling behind compared to this imaginary fucking abstract point that you thought you were going to be at in your fitness business, but sometimes shit happens and you're a human. Falling behind compared to what? Compared to who? Like, it's like arbitrary. Falling behind isn't actually a thing. So like focus on running your own fucking race and focus on getting 1% better every single day. That's literally it. I'm like, I just want to get a little bit better every day. And if my intention, maybe my intention is to like study 2 hours of a course every single day, because I'm in a mentorship program as well. But maybe my schedule gets super crammed and I'm not able to study for 2 hours. Dude, if I sit down for 15 minutes and I watch a video, I'm like, I count that as a win.
Done.
I count that as a win because guess what? Like momentum fucking matters. And so if you're like working on your fitness business and you constantly feel like shit, because you're constantly beating yourself up because you're not getting all the things done and you feel like you're falling behind and you're getting overwhelmed. Like overwhelm is literally inside of your mind. It's not even a real thing.
No, and like we can even put it into a gym perspective at this point. Like, Brian, let's take it back to like when I just moved out to Kelowna, right? Like you were feeling like you're in a good point. You're like feeling good, like you were working out. And then I came here and then you looked at me and you're like, well, fuck, I need to get back on my shit. If you would have just kept thinking about, wow, Corey can squat 5 plates, I can't do it, and you didn't actually go and do any squats, like, is that going to get you any closer to? No. But you work out and like now, like, dude, you're catching up pretty fucking fast. So like, again, but the thing is like, you just keep on thinking about having to do shit isn't going to make that shit go away. So just go do it. And regardless if you squat 5 plates or 3 plates or 2, you're still doing it to get 1% better.
So the first bottleneck in your business is overwhelm. So if you're currently feeling overwhelmed, look at the next thing to do and then fucking do it immediately. Like, get out of your head. And there's no such thing as falling behind. Falling behind is like this abstract concept that we create compared to this person that we're supposed to be like, or this person that's in the course that is getting better results than we are, and we're not at that pace. It's like, it's arbitrary. It doesn't fucking matter. All right. Now the second guys, what's that, Corey?
I was saying, no, you're not in a competition with anything. Like, you're only in a competition with yourself, and like looking at it, like only falling behind is if you're competing with someone. But when you're building your own business, it's your own business. You're not competing with anyone.
Yo, so just a really quick reminder to you guys, before we get back into this, the reason I'm doing this podcast is I want you to make money. Like, I'm going to be direct here. Okay. So I want you to make money and I want you to change people's lives. So I'm telling you guys the things that are preventing you from making money right now. Because I hope that, like, my goal is to change one person's life every single day. So I hope that one of you guys listens to this and something clicks and you're like, fuck, that's why I'm not making money right now. And then you go do the thing that actually makes you the money. Okay. So number 2, the second thing that will bottleneck your business and prevent you from making money and changing people's lives is being unorganized. Being unorganized will absolutely kill your day. Guys, do you know how many things that you like should be doing in order to grow your fitness business every single day? We all know in our heads, right? Like writing content, and maybe we should get on TikTok, and maybe we should get on Reels, and maybe we should go on live stream, and we got to get back to our clients, and we got to lead gen, and we got to do all these things, right? But like, if you keep all of these things in your head and you don't have a schedule for them that you adhere to with absolute integrity, that will absolutely kill your ability to grow your business. And like, guys, so like we're talking about, because like being unorganized is being, I'm just going to call a spade. If you're unorganized, it's because you're an employee. You have an employee mindset. Because as a business owner, right? Like the person that, have any of you guys ever been to a restaurant that has like very, very, very good service? Like extremely good service. Like I'm talking like if you go to Joey's, like the service is like extremely good. And everybody in the restaurant is like operating at the same level. The guy that owns that business is so organized in the way that he like operates on his thinking, because like every single person in the business is doing exactly what they're supposed to do because the guy that operates the business is thinking like that. But the employee just goes into work and they show up and they do what they're supposed to do, right? If you want to run your own business, you can't just show the fuck up and expect that things are going to unfold like they should. Like you can't get to $10,000 a month without being organized. There's a certain set of daily habits and rituals and actions that leads you to $10,000 a month. Just like there's a certain set of habits, rituals, and actions that leads you to having a six-pack, that leads you to having the body that you want, right? So if your goal is to make $10,000 a month, but you're just waking up every day and fucking throwing spaghetti at the wall. Sometimes you make a post on Instagram, and sometimes you lead gen, and sometimes you watch a video that you're supposed to, and sometimes you meditate, and sometimes you listen to a podcast. It's like, that's a bottleneck. Like, there needs to be a consistent system in order to grow. There needs to be a consistent system in order for you to reach the next level. And if there isn't, you're bottlenecking your ability to grow. Like, you might throw some spaghetti at the wall and some stuff might stick, but it's not going to be consistent, and it's not going to lead to like trending growth. The way that you guys are going to see trending growth in your business is being fucking organized and being like, okay, so like I write my posts every day. I write my posts at this time to this time. I make sure that there's at least one post that goes out every single day. And then I'm spending at least X time lead genning per day. And then I'm getting back to my clients at least X times per day. Like, guys, that's why I'm able to operate a business where I have 750 clients, because I'm fucking organized. Like, I know what I'm doing every single day, and I'm integral. Go ahead, Corey.
No, and like that's gonna be the biggest thing, and like especially like for me too. Like when I first started like my online fitness business, like when you're getting started, like there's just so much stuff like you got to do, but then like trying to keep that all in your head, like it's next to impossible. Like just having it just down on paper, like even if you have just like a skeleton of what you need to do, at least just a skeleton of what you need to do and a task box, so that way you can even just plug in place. It's better than just keeping it in your head, because now you get so overwhelmed in all this, but now you have zero direction, zero intention, and now you're just flying by the seat of your ass. And it's just not going to work for you. So like literally just getting something in place that where you can get started with being organized and progress it towards what's going to work best for you. That's what you need to do. And for me, when I first got started, like in my first like 3 months, I think I made like maybe $2-3 grand a month. And then we were sitting in, where were we sitting? It was that one workspace in Calgary. What was it called? It doesn't matter. But then I looked, I'm like, dude, like I need something. And you're like, well, do this. And then as soon as I did that 2 to 3 grand went to 5 to 6, that 5 to 6 went to 10, 10 went to 15, 15 went to 20. And it was all because of me not having to think about all this stuff I had to do, but literally just, okay, I need to do this, I need to do this, I need to do this. And that's going to now go back into the point we just talked about, which was overwhelm. Because if you don't get it down, you don't have a system in place, then you don't get anything done, because you're just thinking about all the shit you need to do. And then you're trying to catch up with shit you don't even know what you need to do in the first place.
Yeah. And guys, I'm going to say this. So one of the questions you guys might have is like, how do I get organized? Okay, so the goal, here's the goal, right? Here's the ideal. The ideal scenario is to design a work that flows. That's why it's called a workflow. Because for me, like my day just flows, man. Like I know what time I get up at 3:30 a.m. every single day. And I'm not telling you to get up at 3:30 a.m., by the way. I'm just giving you my day. My day just flows. I get up at 3:30. When I get up, I meditate. I do a little bit of cardio. I read a little bit of a book. And then after I'm done, I write my posts, because that's when I'm the most creative. And then I'm done my posts. I go to the gym. I film a couple TikToks. And after my TikToks, my day flows. So the goal of getting organized is to design a day that flows. That's the goal. And so if right now your day does not flow because, maybe you overscheduled yourself, or maybe you have no schedule at all, and so you're just running around with a chicken with your head cut off, and sometimes you're posting, and sometimes you're tuning into lives, and sometimes you're getting back to clients, and sometimes you're lead genning, right? So start small, right? So literally maybe make a list of like 5 things you do every day. That's like the start. 5 things you do every day. And then once you can commit to those 5 things that you do every single day, no matter what, right? Then you can start, you start to build that trust with yourself. Then you can start to build more of a schedule. But you got to start small. You got to design a day that flows. Okay, number 3. The third thing that will bottleneck your business and stop you from growth is being resistant to change.
Oh man, that's
being resistant to change.
No, like even when you just think about that, like the thing is like wherever it is that you're starting from, you're there for a specific reason. And if you want to get to another place, you can't be doing the same things over and over and over again, expecting a different result.
It's like there's a lot of you guys that will, be interested in online coaching. Like I want to be an online coach, but then you never post on social media, or you never go live, or you never get on video. And then you think like, and then you want to be an online coach and you're like, oh, I want to be an online coach. But then your coach recommends get on video, or get on TikTok, get on Reels. And you're like, but like, I'm not good on video. Like, I don't like TikTok. I don't TikTok. I don't live stream. I'm not really good at that editing shit. Right. Or like your coach tells you should get on sales calls. No, I'm not good. No. Right. If you're resistant to change, if you're resistant to growth, if you're resistant, like guys, and being resistant to change is also a sign of having a bit of an ego. Right? If you have a bit of an ego and you're like, man, I'm fucking pretty good as I am. Like, I don't need a coach. I don't need a mentor. I don't need help. Right? That's resistant to change. You're like, oh, it's just like change is uncomfortable. Change is hard. And so if we hold ourselves back from change, from growth, from evolution, it's like that will bottleneck your ability to grow. And guys, this one for me is like also huge, because if you're listening to this podcast right now and I tell you that the reason that you're stuck is you're overwhelmed, and then you're like, so you know that, but then I'm telling you in order to get in order to get over your overwhelm, you need to start taking fast action. In your mind, you're like, but I don't like taking fast action, but I don't like it. Like, I need to think about things. That's resistant to change. You're like, oh, but like, that's like uncomfortable for me. I'm not really good at that. It's like, if you are resistant to change, you will stay in the same place.
Yeah. Like we just said, you can't expect to get a different result doing the exact same thing. And again, going right back into a gym metaphor, like Brian, how many times did you hurt your back squatting or deadlifting?
Oh, don't even get me started.
But that's the thing. You were doing something wrong, but yet you were trying to get stronger, whatever, but you kept hurting yourself. So you had to change the way you squatted. You had to change the way you deadlifted. So that way, one, you wouldn't hurt yourself, but two, you would see progress in your strength. And since you've done that,
yeah.
When was your last back injury?
And I'm gonna also caveat that, guys, sometimes we literally need to beat our heads against the wall for like 2 years before we actually realize that we're being idiots. Like for me, like I injured myself deadlifting and squatting for for 2 years. Like I'd get better and then I'd injure myself again, get better and then injure myself again, get better and then injure myself again. And then finally, after like the third time of being out for 4 weeks, I'm like, okay, my squat form sucks. I need to hire a mentor. And I need to like learn foundational squat, even though like, cause my ego is like, I don't need a fucking mentor. Like I've done 6 fitness competitions. I don't need somebody to teach me how to squat. Right? And I think a lot of online coaches do that too. Like, I don't need a mentor. You know what I'm saying? I've been an online coach for 6 years, dog. Like I got my pro card and shit. Like I'm good.
The other thing, I won't name names of people in the academy, but like we've had how many big Instagrams, like with over 500,000 followers are coming to the program, and they're
big ego. Big ego.
I have all these followers. Like, okay, cool. You have all those followers, but you can't make $5,000.
Yeah.
Like, okay, sweet.
Resistant to change. And so if you're resistant to change, the 3 things you need to do is, number 1, you need to open your mind. You need to open your mind because maybe the way that you've been doing things isn't optimal and you need to change it. So if you're resistant to change, maybe you need to open your mind. Like if you're saying to yourself, oh, I suck at TikTok videos. I'm not very good. My TikTok videos get no views, so I'm not even posting. That's resistant to change.
You remember when I said that?
That's resistant to change, yo. So maybe you need to open your mind. The second thing, if you're resistant to change, is you might need to admit that you might be, like, you could be wrong. Like you could be wrong. You thought you were supposed to be able to, you thought you were supposed to do things a certain way, but clearly you're not getting the results that you want. And so you thought that you could be wrong. But this is the biggest one. If you want to get, like, if you're like resistant to like hire the mentor or get on sales calls or get on live streams or get on TikTok or whatever it is, right? If you're resistant to that change, you need to like write this down. You need to crave the result. Crave the result. Guys, I'm so fucking obsessed with accomplishing my goals that I will literally do whatever it takes in order to accomplish them. For those of you guys that are like, I'm not morning people, so I can't wake up early. I'm so committed to being successful. I crave it so much. It's like every part of me wants to be successful that I will do whatever the fuck is necessary in order to accomplish it. If that means I need to meditate to get my mind right, if that means I need to listen to 3 hours of success motivation videos every fucking day to get myself in the right place, I will do whatever is necessary in order to succeed. And that's why it doesn't matter if I'm resistant to change. Guys, you think I liked quitting chewing tobacco? You think it was like a fun feeling for me? You think it was like fun for me to give up like a vice for me that was like, I've had that vice for 2 years? No, but I craved the result of being a good role model so much that I was like, I'm not going to be a model for these like young and ambitious kids where they like see me dipping. So I'm like, I'm not going to be resistant to change. I'm going to be like, I'm going to fucking grow and I'm going to be a good role model. And I will do whatever is necessary, including going through like 2 or 3 weeks of like cravings and withdrawals.
Well, like it was also like going back to the podcast we talked about last week. How many years have you known me, and how long have you been saying, Corey, you smoke too much weed? And I would fight with you about it. And I fight with you about it. Now, since I've stopped smoking, it's been what, like almost 2 weeks now, something like that, and completely night and day. Again, I was resistant for so long, and I didn't realize how much it was really affecting me because I was just resistant to being like, no, don't touch my fucking weed. But then all of a sudden now it's gone and I'm just like, oh, so that was the problem.
Yeah. And it's like, but it's like first things first is you just admitted you were wrong. You're like, honestly, bro, like I'm smoking way too much. You called me. You're like, honestly, I'm smoking way too much weed. I'm like, good for you. And you're like, I think I need to quit. And that's like opening your mind. I was like, I like it a lot. Like, good shit.
Well, and then also I said, if I smoke weed, you can roundhouse kick me in the face.
You did say that. And I said, no, because I'm taking kickboxing lessons right now. He's like, since you're taking kickboxing lessons, if I smoke weed, I give you full permission to punch me in the face as hard as you can. I was like, okay. I'm like, that's a bet I can mess with. I'm like, yeah, I'm in. Sign me up.
Right, like, I like my face, so I don't want that.
I'm in, bro. I'll punch you. I don't care. Okay.
You would.
Okay, so are you guys getting value so far, by the way? We've been here for a minute, so I just want to make sure you guys getting value. All right, thumbs up. Okay, cool. The next thing, this is huge. This is a big one, online fitness coaches. The next bottleneck that will stop you from growing your online fitness business. Number 4, self-doubt. Self-doubt. Man, you could literally be doing everything fucking right. You could be posting 5 times a week. You could be lead genning. You could be getting on sales calls. You could be showing up for your live streams. You could be serving your clients. But if you doubt yourself and you're like, I don't know if this sales call is going to work. I don't know if I think this TikTok's going to suck ass. Somebody replied to my CTA, but I don't think they have money. I don't know if I'm going to be able to sell this person. They're 19. I don't know if this call is going to go well. Like, I'm pretty tired. I don't know if I should go live. I don't really think everybody's going to tune in. I don't really think anyone's going to like this topic if I go live about it. I don't know if anyone's going to want to share my. If you doubt yourself, you are literally shooting yourself in the foot. You could be doing everything fucking right. Everything right. And if you doubt yourself, you're like, it's all wrong. That will bottleneck your business.
But you got to kind of dive into like, why do you doubt yourself? Like, that's going to be the biggest thing, is because we're always trying to be perfectionists, and you think that because you need to be perfect with something that you're not going to make a mistake. Well, here's the thing. You're going to screw up and you've got to be okay with it. But then also, we've talked about this before again, is just being open to failing. And you fail, but the more you fail, the more you get uncomfortable, the more you push yourself outside your little bubble of safety. That's where you're going to see growth. But you're only going to do that when you get out of your own way. And you need to stop doubting yourself of what you're doing, because you clearly have been doing it for a while. You know you're a good coach, but the fact that you're doubting yourself is stopping you from really putting yourself out there. And Brian, you even said this to me, like, and then it kind of clicked for me where you're like, Corey, I don't think you're doing anything wrong. I think you're just scared to step in the spotlight. And it was just like, it was once you kind of have like that realization that you're going to screw something up along the way, but you're also really good at what you do, and everyone screws up. You're not a robot. You're good. Keep going. Yeah. You're never going to appease anyone. So stop doubting the people that are doubting you, and just go and do the things you need to do, because you're showing up for the people that need you, and those people that need you don't have doubt in you. Dude. Stop doubting yourself. Yeah. The number, guys, the easiest way to get over self-doubt, write this affirmation down. If you doubt yourself, the easiest way to get over self-doubt is it's possible. It's fucking possible. It is possible. It's possible. I could sign this client. They reached out to me for help. I could sign this client.
It's possible I could post a TikTok and it could go viral. It's possible I could go live and I could impact somebody's life. It's possible that somebody could pay me in full on the next call. It's possible. I know this girl's 19, but it's possible she could pay in full for a program. It's possible I could make 5K this month. It's possible I could make 10K this month. It's possible because it is possible. And the reason I know it's possible is because I have 102 students over $10,000 a month. And 50 of those students that are over 10K a month hit it in the last 6 months, yo. So it's possible you could hit 10K a month. It's possible. And if you go into every single day with the belief that it's possible, then it gives you the fuel that's necessary in order to achieve the results that you want to achieve. It's possible. So whenever you catch yourself doubting yourself, understand that it's possible. And if it's possible, then and this is the next part of the affirmation. If it's possible, then it's your responsibility to try. If it's possible, then it's your responsibility to try. Like, why not you? Why not you? Why can't you be the next person to hit $10,000 a month? Why can't you be the next person to sign the next client? Why can't you be the next one on the podcast? Why can't you be the next one on the hot seat? Why not you? If it's possible, if somebody else has done it before, then it can be done. And if it can be done, then why don't you fucking try? And not just try, but like try your best. Like give it all you have. Like I want, like guys, if you're listening to this podcast, I seriously do want you to make $10,000 a month. That's why I'm doing this thing. I'm not doing this thing so I can just like, you know, throw up some like freaking hopefully, you know, hope messaging, blah, blah, blah. Like I want you to be successful. I want you to hit $10,000 a month. If it's possible for somebody else, if it can be done, if it has been done, then it can be done again. And if it can be done again, then it's your responsibility to give it a shot and give it your best shot. Show up. Okay, so bottleneck number 5. Bottleneck number 5. This one's gonna strike some of y'all. All right, I'm gonna hit you with some tough love. Bottleneck number 5 is a victim mentality. A victim mentality will crush your business. Crush it. Victim mentality. Here's a victim mentality. Oh man, I've been posting it for a week and it's like nobody's reaching out. This sucks. Man, I've been at this for 30 days and nobody wants to sign up, right? Nobody wants to sign up. Like, this isn't working. Man, I've had 7 sales calls and they all said no. Like, shit. Like, I'm just not good at sales. Nobody's buying. COVID sucks, man. Like, man, I have no idea why this is so hard for me. Like, I'm trying so hard and I'm going in and I'm trying and it's just not working. Now, I don't know why some other people get it and it's like, I don't get it and I'm trying. So guys, like I get it. Like, I'm not trying to like take away from your struggle, but guess what? Everybody fucking struggles. Like, you're not special. You're not. There's nothing like you're not special. Everybody struggles. Everybody goes through hard times. Do you think that successful people just got successful by accident? It's like all of them have been through struggles. I think that's why you guys fuck with my podcast, for lack of a better term. Because you guys know that I was a cocaine addict. You know that I went through my drug addiction. You guys know that I was severely addicted to drugs for 6 months. And then I went through a 3-month withdrawal period and I started with nothing. And then I started building. But you guys come through like, you know, you're a little bit stressed with your finances and because you're like, you haven't had anybody sign up in a week and you get all pissy because it's not working. Guys, it's a victim mentality. And if you want to be successful, if you want to hit $10,000 a month, you got to kill that mentality. That's a sheep mentality. You got to get out of your own head. Everybody struggles with something. Everybody. I deal with anxiety. I deal with overwhelm. I deal with frustration. I deal with days where I don't want to get out of bed. Everybody deals with it. But I'm like, understand that like, you're not special. Everybody goes through shit. So thinking that the world is out to get you and nobody's buying and it's not fair because you're posting 5 times a week and nobody's reaching out. Like, instead of viewing it like a victim, take responsibility and be like, yo, something's not working. I need to fix my shit. That's the frame that you're going to come at this from. It's like, instead, like, I think that so many people play the blame game, but for me, I think it's about playing a game of self-reflection. Like, okay, so if I got on 7 calls and, you know, none of them converted, like that sucks, but that tells me I need to work on my sales process, right? That tells me that I probably need to study sales. So I think I need to reach out to my coaches and be like, yo, B Mark, Corey, Cole, Jeff. I just got on 7 calls and got 7 fucking no's. I need some help. Can you guys help me? I'm struggling, right? Yo, guys, I've been posting for a week and a half and I haven't gotten like any traction and I haven't gotten on any calls. I'm not really sure what I'm doing wrong, but I want to learn and I want to grow. So like, how can I get better? How can I improve? But sitting there and complaining because shit's not working for you is not going to solve the problem. Done my little rant. Corey, you want to add to anything else?
I wouldn't say anything better than that. That's exactly what I would have said.
I think I went off there. I was like, oh.
On top of that, like if something's not working, well, you're clearly not doing it right. So go and work to fix it.
Okay, so I'll write this affirmation down. I am always the problem and I am always the solution. I am always the problem and I am always the solution. Yo, if shit's not working, guess what? It's on you. You get 4 clients drop off, that's on you. Stop complaining. Fix your systems. What's wrong with your delivery and how can you improve? How can you get better? How can you evolve as a coach? Guys, when people cancel from my program, the first question I'm like, okay, cool. How can I improve how can I improve? I'm always looking to improve. How can I get better? I'm not blaming them. I'm not being like, you suck. It's like, I suck. Like, what did I do? Like, how can I improve? How can I grow? How can I get better? And because I take that level of responsibility, because I'm like, everything is my fault, I also understand that like, I can make everything better. I can improve everything. And even if I only get better by 1% every single time, I'm always improving. I'm always evolving. And that's why you guys see me as a successful entrepreneur. It didn't start out like this. Like I didn't come out successful. I came out like struggling. I didn't know how to get leads. I didn't know how to attract clients. I didn't know how to keep them into my program. But when things happened, I wasn't like, fuck, like, man, this is so hard. COVID is like really, really crappy. Guys, when COVID started, literally, this is exactly what happened. COVID happened, lockdown got announced. The next day, I'm like, cool, made myself an at-home workout program. I went out and I bought weights and I set up like a gym routine at home. And I was on my shit morning routine doing home workouts the next fucking day. It's like, I don't waste time being a victim. When shit happens, I take responsibility and I solve the problem. That's it. Does this make sense? You guys vibing? Cool.
I don't think you could have said any better than that. You just got to solve the problem.
Solve the problem.
You know what the problem is? Go solve it.
Guys, and like, I'm expressing to you how I operate and how I think, but like all of you have the same ability inside of you. Do you understand that? Like you have the same power, the same potential. Like you guys are like looking at me, you're like, oh man, that's because you're like successful and you've got the mindset of like somebody that's successful. Like you have that too. You literally just need to give yourself permission to access it. Like you need to say like, my name is Granton McCormack and I'm a badass and I'm going to do what's necessary in order to succeed. My name is Mackenzie Grace and I'm a badass and I will do whatever is necessary in order to succeed. My name is Eric Chang and I'm a badass and I will do whatever is necessary in order to succeed. Give yourself permission to be great. Stop playing the victim game. Just take responsibility for your business and own it. Let's go. Anything else? Let's fucking go. Mic drop. Peace. I'm out. I'm joking. I'm back. Guys, that's it. That's all. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is the Change Lives Make Money Online Trainer podcast, the #1 show for online fitness coaches who are trying to grow a successful online business. If you got value from today's episode and you want to win $1,000, all you need to do is screenshot this podcast episode, share it to your Instagram stories, tag me at BMarkFit. Let me know that you're tuning in, and I'm going to give you an opportunity to win $1,000 cash on March 30th, 2021. Peace, love, protein. We'll talk to you guys in the next episode. Let's go.